Minnesota Vikings could potentially be looking for their sixth new offensive coordinator in 6 seasons if Gary Kubiak retires. If they do need a new play caller, they should consider former Philadelphia Eagles head coach Doug Pederson, even though Doug says that he might take a year off of football because he didn't get picked up this hiring cycle, and also no one wants the Texans job. And I think that the Vikings offensive coordinator position could potentially be appealing for the Super Bowl winning head coach, given the offensive weapons, as well as the tenuous head coaching situation. But there's a myriad of reasons why Mike Zimmer won't let that fly. Number one, 38-7. Yeah, so the biblical ass whooping that kept the Vikings from being the first team to ever play a home Super Bowl, that sticks in there. But although it should be noted that Zimmer wasn't so pissed off about that, that it didn't stop him from hiring the Eagles quarterback coach / red zone coordinator in JDF, which worked out great, swimmingly. Two, I think that Zimmer knows that he's on the hot seat heading into 2021. He kept his gig this year because of the 3-year massive extension and getting a mulligan for 2020 because of all the injuries, because having a young team trying to rebuild on the fly, and also the Rona, even though, yes, all teams had to deal with those parameters. But he's not going to get that in 2021. And if things start out slow, I wouldn't put it. It's a non-zero chance that Zimmer could get fired in season. Say if the Vikings start off, like they did in 2020, right? And if his precious defense can't get their ish together for a second year in a row, and the offense looks pretty darn good again, and he's being coordinated, and the offense is being coordinated by a Super Bowl winning head coach who will be a hot candidate in the head coaching hiring cycle in 2022. Ownership and Spielman, if Spielman is still around, maybe like, what do we got here? Sorry. So even though Eagles fans are garbage, I've always kind of liked Doug, right? I respect him as an offensive mind. I respect the cojones. I respect that he knows how to manage the clock, make some questionable challenges, but which coach doesn't? Stupid Philly. Now, people chalk him up as just another Andy Reid, non-play calling OC. Even though he did call plays for 10 games for the Chiefs in 2015 before he got the Eagles job. And even though the Eagles were absolute hot garbage this year, mainly because of Carson Wentz just becoming straight trash. And he was ultimately fired because he didn't want to be pushed around in another GM owner power struggle. He was done with it. So he's like, deuces. Frankly, if he wasn't going to be fired, I think he would have just straight up quit. I think he would have. And I get, well, Doug Pederson is an Andy Reid guy, so he's not going to run the ball. It's not necessarily true. So when the Eagles won the stupid Super Bowl in 2017, allegedly, they were third in the NFL in rushing with 2,115 yards, led by LeGarrette Blount and Corey Clement. Right? So with Dalvin Cook and the offensive line adept at running the ball, I don't think that Doug is so dumb that he's just going to have Cousins air it out 45 times a game. I don't think that would be a thing. Plus, he has great familiarity with Kirk Cousins because he used to play him twice a year his first 2 seasons as head coach in Philly. And I still think that it's possible that Kubiak returns. In fact, I might put it at like 40% that Gary Kubiak does run it back for another season, or Clint Kubiak becomes the OC and then Gary just sort of fades into a senior consultant role, which is what he wanted in the first place. And then Zimmer has said that he wants the continuity, so hopefully that is Gary back, or having Clint Kubiak as the OC. I mean, Clint wouldn't be a threat. So if the Vikings do struggle, Clint Kubiak in his first year as an offensive play caller, probably not going to be that guy who's going to take over the job. But if Doug Pederson is on staff, you have a guy who's won a Super Bowl as a head coach, 5 years of experience, took the Eagles to the playoffs 3 years out of 5. I mean, he may be looking over his shoulder, and it might be just karmic justice. It's like when in 2016. When Norv eventually succumbed to tight ends coach Pat Shurmur, who's brought in to coach the tight ends, even though he's never coached tight ends before. Right, so having that just the karma boomerang. But if Zimmer is committed on going all in 2021, I think Doug Pederson would be an asset. But Zimmer could potentially be bringing in his own replacement. But I mean, if Zimmer does have the confidence and skills as a head coach to be able to lead this team, to be able to rebuild its precious defense, and the potential of the team is going to pan out in 2021, I mean, this shouldn't be a problem, right? Like, the Vikings win, Doug's not going to steal his job. Even though Zimmer has gone out of his way to collect former head coaches on his staff, would one that's going to be a hot coaching commodity in 2022, would he be open to that? I don't know. Remains to be seen. But again, it all predicates on if Gary Kubiak is going to retire or not. But your thoughts, Doug Pederson, Vikings OC. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.